The title Unbecoming came from a long process of development of the work and conversations that I had with Margot, who's the curator of the piece. It's very much a kind of dialogue with the ideas, concepts of beauty, and of the way that we have a very odd relationship to beauty and a very narrow definition of it. All my work is linked, and all my work is about certain themes. So when you enter this building, you really enter my head and my heart. You're really walking around the things that I'm thinking about, the things that I'm contemplating, the things that matter to me and I need to sort through. And art is a way of sorting through the world and conversing about it without using words.
The theme of the show is really renewal. It's this idea that everything happens in cycles and that everything is impermanent. And there's a real sense in some of these works of things that look fragile or vulnerable. But as you look closer and as you really start to think about them and see the way Yulia has treated the material, you understand that there's a huge amount of resilience in that work and in that subject matter. The show is really the culmination of work she's been developing for 10, 15 years. This show talks about very joyful moments. There's ideas of life and birth, and there's also darker moments. And that is very important to Yulia's practice. It's really about showing the totality of our experience and of our existence in this world.
I always use a variety of cameras in any finished piece. There's not the work of one camera. It's always 4 or 5, sometimes 6, 7 layers between the original image, the original object, the thing in front of your person, and what you finally receive. And I'm doing that in order to produce quite a dreamlike state in everything you see. I call it lens-based work rather than even photography, because I think it sits so outside of what most people think of as photography. It's very much about internal states of mind rather than anything you would see on external surfaces. About Sarah is the thermal imagery series you see when you enter the exhibition. And it's named after Sarah, who's the principal model of the piece, and somebody I've been working with for years. And what was lovely about this series, it was a very conversational process between the two of us. I was using this very big, heavy, kind of military or construction cameras that are actually for thermal imagery. And they're not really meant for photography, so it takes quite a long time. When you press the shutter, it's not immediate. It takes 30 seconds, 40 seconds for the picture to be taken. So it gave me a chance to really think about what I wanted to say with the series and to have this conversational process with Sarah, where we were talking about the things that mattered to us. My practice is really autoethnographic in a way. It's about myself, but it's not autobiographical. That doesn't interest me. It's really about how it speaks to the wider cultural conversation. And this series really epitomizes that. It's very much questioning and talking about what happens to women throughout their lives. And particularly, its concern is to look underneath the scars that we carry. As we go through life, we accumulate scars, the scars of childbirth, the scars of surgery, the scars of life. And really, what's beautiful about this camera is it looks underneath the surface. And so it's very much picks up the life force that's in somebody. It picks up the beautiful running of blood through our veins. And you don't see any more the scars. You don't see any more the life that's been, in some ways, lived, sometimes in quite a brutal way.